My first question to you, we've seen a lot of interest from people to come to equities in the last 2 years. The SIP book has continued to increase. We are almost at $1 billion. But I find somewhere people are coming in without understanding that when I invest in equity, what should my time frame be? People are still saying, oh, I invested in mutual fund, 1 year ho gaya, I have not got much return.
Yes.
So when you advise people and you are dealing with so many retail investors, what is the investment horizon according to you for equity?
So I think it's interesting question, over a period of time, we have seen that people have invested their long-term money in the PPF and a fixed income or a bonds. They can happily invest in a 10-year tax-free bonds. But when it comes to equity, generally their investment horizon is basically a short-term basically. So we did a study, and this data we give it to our investors, and it helps them, recast the time horizon basically. What we have seen in this index, if you just take index and look at last 20 years, 25 years basically, and if you do a 5-year rolling returns, probability of losses reduces substantially. So maybe a less than 5% of the time, it has given you negative returns if you stayed invested for 5 years at any given point in time in last 20-25 years. So this one data point we give it to customer, because most of the times there's a loss aversion is there. So we try and address that one point. Second is basically they come largely in equity because of the high returns basically. So that's the biggest motivation for them to come. We have given them another data point. If you look at in last 20-25 years, in the similar 5 years rolling return perspective, 65 to 70% of the times indices have given you more than 12% sort of returns basically, and more than 40% of the time it has given you almost 15% of the returns. So if you set this tone at the beginning of the investments, I think they are happy to stay for a longer period of time rather than just for 1 year, 2 year. So that's our recommendation. Largely our retail customers can look at 5 years plus as an horizon if looking at as an investment in equity.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully.